Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the world is waiting. Move along to the song, singing in your soul. Feel the beat, clap your hands, let it take control. All you need, all you want, are you ready to find your way? 'Cause every day is a new day.
Welcome to Wisconsin Family. I'm Stacy Hansen.
And I'm Justin Riley, and we are here at Wisconsin Granite here in McFarland. And what a fantastic showroom this is. And what's so cool about this place, I think, is that the warehouse is attached right to the showroom, so you can just walk right back there and hand pick what you want.
You know exactly what you're going to get, and everybody here is so very friendly too. There's nothing to be intimidated about whatsoever.
And we're going to be talking with Jenny later on in the show, and I think she's going to talk to us about how granite really isn't as expensive as a lot of people think. And really, when it comes down to it, you're not paying that much more for granite than you are another non-stone option, and it really adds a lot of value to your home.
It does, and you typically get that back on resale too.
Exactly.
We'll also have Jim's Coins on the show today, talking about how you can share coin collecting with your family. What a great family activity.
I always enjoy having him on the show. He's so knowledgeable, and I loved his error coins that he brought last
I know,
time.
that was
so cool.
so much fun.
That was so cool. We're also going to be joined by a new guest, Mike Diaz from the Diaz Law Firm, and they sort of specialize in helping folks. They kind of have bilingual resources. So
they do.
Have
or 4 or 5
right,
languages.
Yeah. I mean, they have quite a few, which is great because I think a lot of folks who maybe don't speak English don't think that they have anybody to represent them, but they absolutely do over at the Diaz Law Firm. And
so many areas of expertise there too.
Yeah, they have a lot of different areas of expertise, and each person that works there has a different area of expertise. So you know it's genuine expertise. So we're going to be talking with him, Mike Diaz, right after the break here on Wisconsin Family. So stick with us.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We're shooting on location today at Wisconsin Granite, and we're having a great time.
Fantastic showroom. They're making coffee in the background. Can you hear that?
Maybe we'll get a little bit of that later.
Maybe. Let's hope so. Let's hope so.
If we're lucky. With us now is Mike Diaz from the Diaz Law Firm. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me to your show.
So you are an expert. We have so many things to ask you, so many topics we could get into here, but let's just start from the beginning. What types of services do you provide?
Well, I do provide services in the legal field for criminal law, some family law, and also I do a lot of bankruptcies, mostly Chapter 7s.
Okay, so quite a wide range there of things
Correct.
you do. So a good guy to go to.
Criminal, family law, and bankruptcies. How many lawyers are in your building?
Well, in the office, we are located in 995 Applegate Road, and we office share with 4 other lawyers. And that houses my law firm, the offices of Team Staley Legal Services, Attorney Alvarez Law Firm, and also the law office of Attorney Kevin Boyle. All of us have our own area of practice.
So what's an area of practice that you have then?
Well, an area of practice is, as you know, for those who go to see a doctor, you have somebody for you want to see somebody who's an expert on feet, you can see a podiatrist. With children is, you see the physician for, I think it's
Pediatrician.
Pediatrician.
Yeah,
I was getting confused. So in law, they're lawyers who practice an area of law, which is basically, some of them are general practitioners. I myself only do criminal law and family law. Attorney Boyle only specializes in immigration law. Attorney Staley does family law, but also he does trademark law for people who want to do businesses. And Attorney Alvarez does both criminal, business, and he also does general practitioner. So, we have a very eclectic practice.
That's so interesting because, I think a lot of people don't realize that there are attorneys that do specialize in different areas, just like doctors, as you had mentioned. I mean, there's a lot of laws. I don't know if you've seen how many laws are in our country. The book's probably at least that thick. So, to know all of them, as well as knowing a smaller group of, or a smaller, area is, I think it's really great that you are,
specialized in one area.
I'm totally derailing myself here. I'm totally derailing myself.
To be focused in an area.
I think it's just great that you guys are focusing on specific areas, so I think that's awesome. Does anybody in your office speak other languages?
All of us speak more than one language. I myself, I speak Spanish, French, and Italian, in addition to English. Attorney Alvarez speaks both Spanish and English. Attorney Staley speaks Spanish and English, and Attorney Boyle speaks fluent Spanish and English. And that's one of the reasons that we created that synergy, that if somebody comes to our offices who want to express themselves in their language, we'll be able to understand what they're trying to say. Sometimes English language is very complex, and you're trying to explain something and you may be lost in the translation.
Right.
So therefore, if somebody can explain it to me in their language, say, okay, I understand. So that's the reason, the genesis for all of us to office share.
I think that's great too, because there are folks out there who don't speak English and need to have legal representation, whether it's for criminal or for family or whatever specialty you might need. And I think that's great that you are available to those folks. I think it's important that we share that with people.
And in addition to that, there's a lot of individuals who are coming to the Madison area that will create businesses.
Right.
But obviously, where they come from, the laws are different from the laws in Wisconsin. So we try to advise them as to what you need to do in order to meet the minimum requirements to start a business. So that's something that we try to do.
Yeah.
So which counties do you serve? Are you just Dane County?
Well, obviously Dane County is, as I want to call it, the base of operations, but we also go to Rock County, Calumet County, I'm sorry, not Calumet, Columbia County, Sauk County. I even have gone as north as Trempealeau County, Richland County,
Okay.
Lafayette County, Iowa County. So basically, if I want to be concise, we're talking about the southwestern part of the state. We go as far or as east as Jefferson County.
Okay.
But that'll be the geographical area that all of us will travel and provide services to the community.
Do you feel, I'm just curious do you feel that there's a pretty big demand for services in the more rural areas, or does it primarily come from the urban areas like here in Dane County?
No, in reality, let's be clear. There is a significant need of lawyers in the rural counties. Most of the practices, or the big practices, are concentrated in urban areas.
Yeah.
So my kind of law that I do, particularly I represent individuals who are Latinos. Well, there's been a huge migration of Latinos out of the urban areas, more into the rural part of the states. So the need to have an individual who speaks Spanish and understand is really a huge need in the western part of the state, and more in the rural areas. So that's basically our marketing plan, our targeting for us to provide services to all the community.
Business hours, you open 5 days a week, 6 days a week?
We're open usually 5 days a week.
Okay.
We also, most Attorney Boyle and me, we take clients on Saturdays.
Okay.
Most of our clients,
great.
obviously, they work from 9 to 5.
Right.
So taking time off to come to see an attorney, to do at least an initial interview, it takes away from what they need to do.
Right.
So we basically take appointments on Saturdays, and I do that.
Great.
And also that's Attorney Boyle. And also I think Attorney Alvarez and Attorney Staley, again, you call and you try to make an appointment.
Excellent.
Great.
Excellent. That's so good to know.
Very accessible all around. Well, thanks
Yes.
so much, Mike, for joining us today. Lots of great information. Definitely check him out if you're in need of some legal services. And stay with us. We have more on Wisconsin Family right after the break.
'Cause every day is a new day. 'Cause every day is a new day.
Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We're here at Wisconsin Granite, and so excited to be talking with those folks later on in the program.
Definitely looking forward to that. They've always got some cool things to show us.
They sure do, but first I want to give as much time as I can to this fine gentleman here. Jim Essence joins us now from Jim's Coins in Hilldale. How
Welcome
are
back.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
you? Absolutely. So, what have you brought with us? What are you going to be talking about today, Jim?
Well, today I'd like to talk about sharing numismatics, which is the fancy term for coin collecting, sharing numismatics with your family with the theme of history, learning history through numismatics.
Okay.
Cool.
Something to talk about and learn history on the side, make it fun. Something you can talk about, help you with school,
Sure.
give you some background.
Do you have examples of how, do you have historical examples here that we can talk about?
Some of
that we
these
can
look
give a
awfully
history lesson?
historical, yeah.
Yes, definitely. So, for example, if you had this one here, which is not that expensive, you could get it for under $50 if you were interested.
Okay.
You could show it, and you could say to your child, "You want to see some big money?" And you could pull out this one, and you could tell them, "This is $1 from 1923. This is how big they used to be.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And you could say it's big money not only in size, but also you could buy, say, 10 loaves of bread in 1923 with this $1. And how many loaves of bread could you buy today? You'd be lucky, probably not even
half
one.
of one,
Right,
yeah.
half, a quarter, maybe a slice in a cafe or something, if that. So, you know, that's something you can talk about, inflation and history.
And I noticed it says on the bottom $1 silver
Yeah, I
dollar.
was
So that
gonna
must have
notice
just
that.
been just after a switch from a coin?
Yes, yes. And another thing that you could talk about is, now this is the previous version, and that's a good segue because here you could show this to your young one and say, what looks different about this dollar? Does anything look different? It is the kind of the old style, but
Well, it looks a little greener. That's the
Yeah,
first thing I noticed.
yeah, and it doesn't
Okay.
say silver dollar.
All right. It
doesn't say
Oh, in
silver.
silver payable to the bearer on
this
demand.
Is, this is from 1957, but do you see anything different than the usual color differentiate in the seal maybe?
Oh, it's kind of a darker blue.
Yes, blue,
Yeah.
and today's are green and
Oh,
black.
sure.
Right, sure. Okay.
So this is called a silver certificate. It used to be all our money was backed by silver and gold, and I also brought some gold certificates. You can see
Okay.
the gold seals.
Okay.
And so it used to be our money, we have to have that in store to back up our money. And in 1971, Nixon did away with the gold standard, and now our money is just based completely on faith. And so that's something you can talk about with your young one. You know, it ties into history. Why are these seals different colors? These used to be backed by silver, and now they're backed by green faith, basically.
I don't know if I feel as comfortable with that as I would with gold.
So how did that all work? I mean, because I don't know a whole lot about the history of the gold standard, because obviously I wasn't around before then, and how does the gold standard work? I mean, was there literally a certain amount of gold in the world, and then there was certificates saying,
Equaling that
if you have
value?
the certificate, you own this much gold in the world? kind of
Yes,
thing?
yes. The government set the amount of gold, and for example, foreign governments, what have you, could take the paper, and the U.S. government would give that gold over. So it was actually backed by the gold, and
So it's almost like a certificate of stock, like you own a share of the gold in the
Yes.
world.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it changed with, was it Nixon that you said?
yes, in 1971, he just did away with it, and now we can print as much money as we want,
Yeah.
With
which
nothing
causes
backing it.
which causes inflation.
Right.
And in some countries that kind of got out of hand, and you can show them this one from Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
And now they have notes $100 trillion. Of course, that's not the same as.
Yeah, what is that worth the U.S.? Like, would you say like $100 trillion?
Yes, actually
Zimbabwe?
now it's even less than a cent.
Is it?
believe
Is it
or
really?
not.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yes. So.
I mean, is this?
But this is now a collectible because it's so cool.
Right.
It is, and it's colorful too. It's kind of cool looking.
Do they
Yes.
still print these $100 trillion bills? Or
No,
anything?
no,
Okay.
they do not. They did away. Their currency just inflated away to nothing.
Wow.
And so now they use dollars and rands and other countries' currency, basically.
Less than a cent. $100
Yes.
trillion.
But it's kind of neat to talk about. As we're talking about, you can talk about with your young one.
Right.
And
And you have some examples of some coins here too, I see.
yes, this is a Buffalo nickel.
Okay.
Very famous design. You can show it to your young one, and they would get excited about why is there an Indian? Who were the Indians? Why are they on our coinage? Our history. Really, what is the history of the United States?
Right.
Before Europeans were here, it was all just Native Americans.
Right.
And so.
Back in the day, that used to be more common, seeing Native Americans on our coinage.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
That's correct.
Yeah, when did that switch over? And
1938 is when they started making the Jefferson
the
nickel.
Jefferson nickels?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And real quick before we go, what do you have here? The State Series quarters. I think you brought that with you in the past.
A few
but-
times, yes. Always good to learn geography as well as
Right.
history with the state quarters, and so you can, with the map, open it up and they can learn geography as well.
It's a good way for a kid to get started in coin collecting.
Yes.
I would
So
think.
much great information right here with Jim Essence from Jim's Coins in Hilldale. Thank you so much for joining us today, Jim.
so
Yeah,
much.
thanks
Always
a
a
lot for
pleasure.
having me. Yeah, me too.
Don't go away. There's more Wisconsin Family coming up right after the break. Welcome back to Wisconsin Family. We are at Wisconsin Granite in McFarland, and we are so excited to be here. And we're going to talk now with Jenny Johnston, who is the project coordinator here. Jenny, welcome back.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Yeah, we always look forward to coming here because it's just such a gorgeous showroom, and you have such a great selection. I mean, you go in the back, and there's just, rows upon rows of different selections. And what's so cool is people can walk in and literally pick out the exact piece that they want. It's not like a sample saying, give me something that looks close to that. It's they can pick out the actual
exact
thing.
piece. They do.
So if I want to put granite countertops in my house, how do I begin the process of doing that?
If you come into the showroom, it's helpful to have some dimensions of your countertop so we can do a quick quote. Always keep in mind your budget and kind of color scheme is important too. That kind of helps us help you with the selection process. We do a quote, and then if you make a selection, we will, then we'll set up a measure and we'll come out and install, and it's usually about a 3-week turnaround. So it's usually pretty quick, and we try to make it as painless as possible. So
3-week turnaround before the project's done.
yeah.
Wow, that's much quicker than I would have thought.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and sometimes right now it's a little bit slower, just kind of the time of year, and actually we're at like a 2-week turnaround. So
Wow.
Oh, yeah, now's the time.
Now's the
Maybe,
time.
get somebody some countertops
Yeah, before
for Christmas.
Christmas.
You know, yeah. What a great gift.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the benefits of choosing a natural stone countertop as opposed to something else?
Sure, it definitely adds value to your home. That is one of the biggest things. It's also a nice durable product. It's hyperallergenic. As long as granite is sealed properly, it's really impervious. So it's just and it's beautiful to look at. So
It certainly is.
And I imagine it's much longer lasting than a lot of the other
It is. It's very
less
durable.
expensive countertops that are out there for
yep,
sure.
you
So-
will. We get customers in here that are shopping around, and you always should. You want to get what you're paying for,
Right.
and you're spending a lot of money, so you want to make sure that it's a good investment. But people are really surprised when they look at if they do a laminate top versus a granite top. It's
Right.
really actually not that different in price.
And
Really?
it seems like you get that money back so much on a resale.
Exactly.
home.
Yep.
Yeah, I
definitely.
suppose
Yeah.
so. That makes sense. That makes sense. You mentioned as long as it's sealed properly. Can you talk to us a little bit about maintaining these stone countertops? Is it hard to
Sure.
do?
It's not hard at all. It's just a spray-on application. There's lots of different companies that have sealers out there. As long as you get a good stone sealer, you spray on the application, let it penetrate the stone for whatever the manufacturer recommends, and wipe it off, and that's it. And granite, we recommend about once a year. Marble, we recommend probably about every 6 months.
Okay. That's
Now,
not too
for
much at
daily
all.
cleaning,
No.
can you literally just,
Yep, just soap
a
and
little bit
water.
of soap and water?
Yep, soap and
Oh.
water is fine.
Wow. Easy
So-
to clean, not
Yeah,
too hard to
very-
maintain.
very-
Exactly.
It's a win-win. If I only have a small project to work on, like such as like a vanity, if I just have a small little area in my bathroom, do you have options for folks who want to do stuff like
We
that?
do. We have a lot of people get a little bit. I guess they get concerned that they have to buy an entire slab of granite if
Right.
they come in to do a smaller vanity. But we do have remnant options,
Okay.
and we do
Okay.
also just sell the material per square foot that you use. We don't, require you to buy an entire slab of material. So there's definitely some more economical options when you choose a remnant.
Yeah, you don't have to have a small piece cut out and then have the rest of it
And
stored
have
in
the
your
rest
garage
to
or something like
use,
that.
That kind of makes me wonder, do you see, can you have a different color in your bathroom and then a different color in your kitchen? Or do you find that
definitely.
people, do they like to coordinate throughout the home? Or what do you usually see?
It really depends on the person.
Yeah.
I've seen it where they want everything to match in every single room. I've seen it, customers are like, oh, I want something different in every room. And so it just really depends on your taste and, your home. So, yeah.
So it's good to know
Anything
you can
goes.
mix and match like that.
Yeah, definitely.
So what types of natural stone do you carry then? It seems like there's an infinite selection
There
here.
is. We have marble and granite, and then we also have soapstone.
Okay.
Soapstone. Wow.
Yeah.
So
What does
yeah,
that look
yeah.
like? What color is that? Does it come
Once
in
it
different colors?
patinas over time, we have the green type looking. So once it patinas, it almost looks black.
Wow.
But it's virtually
Cool.
impervious. It is a softer stone, so there is a little bit more maintenance with it, but it's you don't have to seal it because
Wow.
it is an impervious stone. So,
Wow.
and it's a popular look. It's just a lot of people are a little set back with the maintenance because you have to use a lot of mineral oil and get it to patina over time. But
Sure.
it's a really pretty stone once it's
It sounds gorgeous.
completed. Yeah,
What's that word you use? Patine?
patinaed.
Patinaed?
Yeah, once it. I don't don't know how
The
to.
color that it gets. Like I've
Yeah.
heard that with other things
Oh, okay.
too.
Yep.
Like
Okay.
I think
It's
leathers
almost
and things
like
like that.
it's almost
Yeah.
like a finished product, you know,
Yeah.
like
Sure.
it. Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know.
I'm glad you know that, Stacy.
So what about like you said marble as
Mm-hmm.
well? So what's the difference then between like marble and granite?
Marble is a little bit softer of a stone than granite, so you do have to be aware that it will etch and scratch. However, that kind of takes on the beauty of the stone over time. In Europe, they use marble, you know, for everywhere.
For everything, buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And we've actually had a rep come from Italy and kind of talk to us and inform us about, you know, how to sell marble properly, because a lot of Americans are like, well, I don't want to scratch, it'll ruin it. But that kind of takes on the characteristic of marble. So we're trying to learn how to educate our customers on the love of marble too, because it's really beautiful, where you could find like the nice whites and grays that a lot of people are looking for. So we do have a big selection of marble.
So you actually want it to wear in a little bit.
It
when it's
will,
marble.
yep, yep.
You
Interesting.
want it to,
Yep.
kind of like leather looks better as it gets older.
Exactly.
And marble does too.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
I'm learning so much today. This is something that I'm so not cultured. So, I just want to ask before, while we have a little bit of time left, do people need an appointment to come in and look in the showroom, or can they just walk right in?
Yeah, they can walk right in. If they want to make an appointment just to make it more convenient for them, we definitely take those, but it's not necessary. They can just walk in and look anytime they want, during business hours, of course.
Excellent. Yeah, of course. And I'm going to ask this, and I think Ismail talked about this a little bit last month, but you guys are always expanding your selection here, and it started out with, you know, Brazil was primarily where you sourced the materials from, but
Correct.
now you've added a couple of places. Can you talk
We
about
have.
some of those, touch
Yeah.
base about some of those additions that you've made?
Sure, we got in a ton of marble from Italy. I believe that was around August, and then actually just a couple days ago we got in a container from India. So, and that's about our third container from India. So yeah, we've expanded to a couple different countries, so it's fun.
That's cool.
New material.
cool.
Yeah,
I like that it's like kind of a little world tour. When
it
you come
is.
here.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Yeah.
Ismail, your owner, I mean, he literally will make the trip out to India, Italy, Brazil, wherever to
personally
to
picks
personally
these out.
select these out.
He does.
so-
He tells us about these crazy stories when they take him on these roads, and you know, it's like a dirt road, and they're
Yeah.
like on these huge quarries and mountains, and he has quite the adventure. So
Yeah.
yeah, he actually goes to the quarries and selects them himself.
We got to get him to bring pictures and tell us some stories next time
Yeah.
he comes on. so-
Definitely.
We should.
Yeah. Well, granite countertops, stone countertops, looks like, I mean, it's a long-term investment. It raises the value on your home. You hopefully make that back once you sell your home. So great options here at Wisconsin Granite. Check out their website. You also have 12 months of interest-free financing.
We do.
So-
Oh,
Yes.
good to get that in there.
Yep,
yeah.
it is.
Yep.
It's definitely helpful.
This has been Jenny Johnston, who is the project coordinator here at Wisconsin
you.
Granite.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much for hosting us
Thanks
today.
for coming.
Appreciate it. That's all the time we have for Wisconsin Family. We'll see you next time.
Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the